Hey guys, this is Holistic Health with Harry, and today I'm really excited to be joined today by Caroline Mansfield, who's a naturopath that's not new to naturopathy and what you do, but new to me. And I found you through my affiliation with Root Supplements, which I love, and the Cleanslate. And I saw your video with I think through Sandy Gold. You did an interview with Clayton on the Microscope work, particularly with Root Cleanslate, that blew me away, and I had to ask you on the show. So thank you very much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
No, it's great to be chatting to you, Harry. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a naturopath and I've been doing live blood analysis for 20 years. And recently, in the last couple of years, I've been asked to look at a lot of products under the microscope and how that interacts with blood. So I think that's what you've been seeing. The videos have been discussing the outcomes from various products, specifically the Root brand.
Definitely. So you've been doing 20 years of Microscope. Well, I find it fascinating because this kind of things you've seen, I guess, what works with health, ill health, vaccines and supplements that don't and do. And yeah, I mean, if we go, what supplements have you experimented with before you start talking about the Root Cleanslate ones that you found to work and that haven't? And what things have blown you away?
Okay, so I mean, there's a few products that have been very interesting, but I think one of them is oxygen water. There's a particular brand I've been working with for the last 3 years, and what that does is it completely it completely improves the zeta potential of the blood. So red blood cells are usually they have a negative charge on the outside, and due to poor diet or acidity, even EMF problems, if you've got a lot of electric smog, etc., it can change the blood where it becomes a bit more attracted to each other. So we're not going to get the correct sort of flow of blood, delivery of oxygen, takeaway of nutrients, etc. So it can inhibit detoxification. But this particular oxygen water, as soon as you drink it, within 15 minutes, the blood's just whizzing around. Yeah, so it's amazing when I'm so lucky to have the opportunity to see what certain foods, what certain supplements, even water does to your blood and how it can improve, the profile of the blood for you.
That's amazing. Yeah, so I love it because you can actually prove. I mean, I'm a bit of both. I'm a bit of natural free and intuition and body feel, which I know something's good for me, but also there's a part of me that does like the science geeky side. Proofs. I mean, in a way I don't need the proof, but I like the proof, if that makes any sense. So with the Microscope work, you definitely give us the proof. So I guess with the Root Cleanslate, what did you see? Because we was told before your Microscope studies that it was a highly negatively charged product, and which I understood intuitively for how it felt to me, but you kind of showed it to the Root. I think you were the first to show it to the Root community. Even Clayton was blown away that it's extremely a beautiful crystal, and it is what it claims to be very much.
Yeah, I have looked at Cleanslate quite a few times under the microscope since that initial interview with Clayton. And when we talk about zeolites, they have a honeycomb structure. So most of the crystals from Cleanslate do have that structure. When I go in at like 1,600 times magnification, so they say this is because it's so highly negatively charged as well, and all heavy metals are positively charged, then it just picks up these heavy metals and pulls them out with this honeycomb structure. So I've seen that under the microscope, but also there's some beautiful crystals as well. Because obviously they're different sizes. They're mainly very tiny, but you can get some bigger ones as well. And we see the beautiful. It's almost like a Saint Germain purple hue around the Cleanslate crystals. I love looking at that product under the microscope, and you can just feel. I think if you intuitively, as you say, I knew that this product was really special. And also, when we're looking at usually detoxing heavy metals out of the body, as a naturopath over the years, we've always done protocols where we use a product called DMSA, which helps to sort of remove the heavy metals from the embedded, tissue and cell. But when we use DMSA, we also have to use like chelating agents.
Is it DMSO or DMSA? DMSO, I think. I say.
DMSA,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yep.
And then we have to use other agents that will help, because otherwise, once you start dislodging heavy metals, then they could start just going to the circulation and lodging somewhere else. So we have to use other agents to help pull them out of the system. And DMSA not only removes heavy metals, it removes, vital minerals and nutrients from the tissue. So then we have to also re-inoculate the system with with nutrients. So there's quite an onslaught doing heavy metal cleanses usually, that the protocol can take a good 3 months, and unless you're re-inoculating the system well, you can become quite depleted, mineral-wise. You've got to be very careful what you're doing. But with Cleanslate, it's so easy because you just take Cleanslate, it's already got the minerals in it, the sea minerals, and the zeolites don't need that extra chelation agent because it's grabbing hold of the heavy metals and pulling them out. And it's got vitamin C in there as well. So the whole thing, it's just such a great product to work with. And I think I was telling you that I've done my own lab research with Cleanslate as well, showing with clients taking it who do, we do heavy metal toxicity tests with the laboratory. So we do a provocated urinalysis test. So we provoke it so we can try and stir up whatever heavy metals were in their cells. And then I put the client on Cleanslate for 3 months, and we look again. We do another provocated urinalysis test, and then again, 3 months later, we see that the Cleanslate is bringing down the heavy metal load in the same way and in the same pattern that DMSA would. So I'm like really over the moon with Cleanslate because it's just so easy to tell clients to take 10 drops twice a day for heavy metal cleanse,
Yeah.
There's nothing easier. And not only is it removing heavy metals, it's removing molds and fungus and viruses, viral particles, the debris from the system that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it as simple as saying, to my simple brain, I'm really simple sometimes. I mean, if something's extremely negatively charged and all the bad stuff, or a lot of the bad stuff is extremely positively charged, you need something very powerfully negatively charged to go deep and really pull out the extremely positively charged stuff that gets stuck in the body, because there's stuff that's hard to dislodge. Like heavy metals are not easy to dislodge from my awareness. Parasites, fungus, toxic, they're easy to dislodge. Everyone would be all of these three, right? And they're not. So it's something really powerfully extremely negatively charged to get rid of it. And I feel like Cleanslate intuitively is, but you kind of can prove it, like that it is that extremely charged, weapon or health that I think it is. Right.
Well, I got the opportunity to really discover how powerful Cleanslate is because I think it was last year somebody had posted somewhere on the internet that an antibiotic capsule, the outside capsule, was actually magnetized. Someone put a magnet up to it, and it was being pulled along. The capsule would latch onto the magnet and get pulled along. So I thought, wow, okay, I'm going to try this experiment. And it's magnetized. So I took that capsule and I dissolved it in some water. And I put the magnet up to the dissolved, solution from the capsule. And all these little black particles appeared, right? So these are the magnetized particles that were inside the capsule. And I was thinking, wow, I've got to put this under the microscope. So I'm going to show you some images in a minute. So we looked at these magnetized particles under the microscope, and I did a lot of research after that to discover exactly what they are. And so I thought, well, this is a really good opportunity to put Cleanslate to the test because we've got these positively charged magnetized particles. Let's mix this with Cleanslate and see what it does,
Yeah.
So after, I think it was 48 hours, I put some drops of Cleanslate in with the solution. And then when I put the magnet up to the glass, the magnetism per se of these black particles had dramatically dropped, They weren't as responsive. And compared to when I just left the magnetized particles on their own in this water solution, they were still magnetized 48 hours later. So I had two different, experiments going on. And then when I put the solution with the Cleanslate under the microscope, I took a drop of that, put it under the microscope, with a cover slip, and I was looking to see if any of these magnetized particles had latched onto the Cleanslate crystals. And I was like, yay, I was so lucky when I found that it had, right? You can see how the Cleanslate latches onto this positively charged particle. So like, I don't know if anyone's ever done this work before or gone to such depths, you know, such molecular level, really. But for me, it was just really, it was fun.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, Clayton just loved the work, Clayton and Christina, because it proves what they're saying, basically.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've seen it under the microscope. I've done laboratory tests separately for different clients. So I can actually put my hand on my heart and say it's a great product, because I always like to try products first myself before I start recommending to clients, you know, as much as possible. And this is why I don't usually align myself with one product company as such, you know, because I believe people need different things from arrays of places. But I have to say that Cleanslate is an amazing product for removing heavy metals. Yeah.
Yeah, I concur. It blew me away. I was dead against supplements quickly, and it really felt like my beloved, for people that know me, aged urine, which I'll always love as a free one. But this was the alternative, and I do both. So I love them, and I felt intuitively, like you said, very powerful. Can happy to promote it, and also it also adds a lot of silica, because I noticed straight away my hair and was moisturized and shampoo like, and no other supplement I've ever taken up to then had done that to my hair and my skin. So
Yeah.
it lived up to the bioavailable silica dump that he said claimed to. So I was happy to talk about it. It truly is amazing. You even sent me a T-shirt. It's over in the UK. I need to wear that more. I love it with the negatively charged. Yeah.
It's beautiful, that crystal. That was my favorite crystal I found. Yeah. I always say it looks like Starship Enterprise, you know, the shape of it. Because when you look at things under the microscope, to me, it's like I'm looking at a microcosm. It's like I'm looking at the universe, but, you know, in a different way. It's like looking out at the sky and the stars.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always like when I look up at the sky and I look at the clouds, I understand why the clouds are darker in some places and lighter in others, because it is thicker. And the same thing applies when you look at something under the microscope and look at the product, you know. There's dark, murky areas, because if you just spread it out, then the light goes through and you can see. I don't know, it's fascinating.
Yeah, as above, so below, isn't it? There's a micro and macro to the whole universe, I feel. And that is the micro, the root Cleanslate. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, another thing I like is you only need a few drops to get an effect. I've heard stories of people taking one drop when you're extremely toxic. And also, that's why we recommend go very slowly, because it can be dangerous if you mess about and you're toxic with these things.
Yeah, it's very true. Some people have less tolerance, for detoxification for a number of different reasons. So yeah, you have to just go slowly and find the right number for yourself. But usually with detoxification with heavy metals, we build up to 10 drops twice a day. And you know, nothing happens overnight, as you say. These things get deep into tissue. So to detox heavy metals out of your system, you've got to give yourself a good sort of 6 months, really, at least. And if you can do testing, even better, because then you know where you're at, you know.
Yeah, to have markers is powerful. So would you be up for now showing us a little bit of sharing the screen and showing us some work?
Now, so
let's see if this works. You share.
Sorry.
Oh, let's see if it works. There we go. Yeah, it's going through.
Here we go. So,
cool.
Yeah. So basically, this is the experiment I was explaining. That I, you know, when I dissolved the Cleanslate under the microscope with the magnetized particles. So let me just see what I can show you. I'm just going to put my glasses on. Let's see. So this one here, this is the black goo, the magnetized goo when I pulled it out of the water.
And this black glue is from what, sorry?
That is from a capsule from an antibiotic.
Oh, an antibiotic. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So this is what I used to experiment with Cleanslate. It was actually a blessing to find this, to be honest with you. So I placed that black goo on a slide and put it under the microscope. And the first picture I saw, you've probably seen this before, was that.
Oh, wow. I think I have, and that doesn't look very nice.
It doesn't look very nice. And I think what's so interesting, and I'll probably maybe have a chance to show you some images, but when things come from nature, they look so beautiful under the microscope. And this you can see is really not looking beautiful. In fact, it looks like an alien face to me.
It does. Yeah, it does. I do believe that there's some kind of there's a meaning behind that look, you know.
Yeah. It actually freaked me out when I saw that, because I'm just used to seeing blood under the microscope. This has been a new development for me, looking at products, and now companies are coming to me asking me to look at their products under microscopes, how it interacts with the blood, etc. So my work's kind of morphed into a new area. So it's all been quite new in the last couple of years, but this was just horrible. And then these were, that was when zoomed in at 1,600 times. When I zoomed out, these are what the particles look like, the black particles separately. Now this I discovered what's called iron oxide magnetized nanoparticles. And pharmaceutical companies put this into product, they say, because it helps deliver product into cell better. That's their reasoning. But it wasn't just these type of particles. So they look like, you know, they're quite bubbly on the outside. They're not smooth. But there was a different type of product, another type of molecule in there, or substance, which was this one. And it's moving because I'm moving the magnet above the slide under the microscope.
Yeah.
So I thought that's very different. It almost looks like flat sheets, you know. Yeah. So I went for 1,600 times. So this is, I think, is where we saw the alien face at this level of magnification. And I'm just trying to get that. This is it really close up.
Wow.
So that's totally different to the other particles, which obviously look like little iron blobs.
Looks alive, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks alive only because I'm moving it. Yeah, with the magnet. But you can see it looks like sheets, you know. It's very interesting. So this is what was inside a capsule of an antibiotic. And then when I did my research, this is what iron oxide nanoparticles look like, which was the first video I showed you. And then this is what graphene oxide looks like, which is like the second video I showed you.
Interesting. So you're saying they look like iron oxide and graphene oxide, both of them, in the capsules of antibiotics, or the one you tested?
Yeah. And you know what's interesting is that somebody else posted online. I don't know why these things have been put in medications, apart from the fact they say it helps get products into cell better. But somebody posted online that a vitamin E capsule had a magnetized outer shell as well. So I ordered this. This product was from Australia. I couldn't get it in the UK, so I ordered this product to think, okay, let's put this to the test. And this product arrived. I'm just going to go down so I can show this straight away. And I dissolved the capsule, just like I did the antibiotic capsule, put it under the microscope, and this is what was moving. Whoa. Now you can see in the background these little orange dots. That's actually the vitamin E from inside the capsule. It says, but this is the magnetized particles. So I'm moving the magnet on the slide. And there should be no reason for magnetized particles to be in a nutritional product.
No, that one takes over the whole vitamin E, it looks like. It looks very dominant, doesn't it? Very big, much bigger.
It's weird. It's so weird.
It is, isn't
and
it?
then I discovered that this particular company, I'm not going to say who they are because I don't want to get into trouble, but basically this particular company who makes this brand is owned by a pharmaceutical company. Right, so because if you're going to make a vitamin E product, you would not put anything magnetized like this inside a nutritional supplement.
I mean, it looks demonic to me, but I don't know. Okay, all right. Mini demon.
It really does, the way it's moving around. It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's a different type of magnetic substance than the antibiotic capsule. Because the antibiotic capsule was from 2013. That's how moving magnet. And this one was from this year. So I don't know if things have developed along the way. And what I noticed also, when I left it on the slide, they all disappeared. And I thought, where have they gone? All these, and I found them all grouped together at one end of the slide. So it's almost like they all just gravitate towards each other as well.
Wow.
So if that's happening on the slide, what's it doing in the body? You know, it's just very odd. But you can see these little orange blobs in the background. That's what vitamin E looks like. Magnetized. They actually look really beautiful, vitamin E, but these things don't.
Yes, and they're dominant. They're way bigger than the vitamin E. I mean, just one of them. Like.
Yeah. So very interesting altogether. And I just want to show you also then. So this is the experiment when I put the Cleanslate in with the dissolved capsule from the antibiotic. And I didn't actually show you the first video. Let me just see if I can find this one.
Sure. And whilst you're looking for that, just to say that because it might have to, we can do it in 2 parts possibly, because it's going to end in 5 minutes. This Zoom, because it's the free Zoom. It's going to end in 5 minutes if I reopen it. We can do a 2 parts for this.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. So you can see these. Oh, you want to just go on to the next video, because you can see these. See the black bits? This is how you don't see them in solution until you put the magnet up to it.
Got ya.
So that's without Cleanslate. And then when we put the Cleanslate in the solution, so you can see how they move around really quickly with the magnet. And then with the Cleanslate left in the solution for 48 hours, it's like neutralized it. They still come, they're not as
strong,
not as strong. You can just see little, very slow to move, very slow to come to the magnet. That's why I say it's such a blessing.
Yeah.
I was able to use these substances to put Cleanslate to the test. Yeah, you can see it's difference.
It's not moving as much. Yeah, it's not as magnetized now. But it's unmagnetized the bad stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And then when I was looking at Cleanslate, that substance, I put that together, the dissolved capsule with the Cleanslate under the microscope, and then I see, can you see this crystal? The beautiful hue of the purple? That's Cleanslate crystal, and this here on the left is one of the iron oxide magnetized nanoparticles. So you can see it's grabbed on. I was so happy to find this.
That's the moment that the Cleanslate is the cliniptolite from the Cleanslate crystal is grabbed onto it, like eating it up almost. Is that what it's done? Or
yeah, it's sort of like it is together.
Binded.
So this will come out of the body like this. So, and I actually saw, there's one point, but I didn't get a chance to video it, where I saw a clinoptilolite crystal and this iron oxide magnetized nanoparticles were floating, because you get these little rivers of movement underneath the slide, you know, and I could see it moving towards the crystal. I'm thinking, is it gonna grab hold of it? And like as it went past it, boom, just it collected it. Cool. So I was like, yes, I've witnessed it, so I can say it.
Yeah, it's like a sweeper. It sweeps bad stuff. It found it and swept it up.
Yeah. Yeah, fascinating.
Does it, like with the honeycomb structure, put it inside it? It doesn't like make it disappear. Yeah. Does it traps it sort of like a trap?
Yeah, I think it traps it somehow. which is the idea of zeolites. I mean, there'll be different sized particles, there'll be much smaller ones and bigger crystals, smaller crystals. I think it just depends on what it's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Dr. Christina Ram says it can. Some of these crystals are so small they can actually go into the cell and start picking up.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Heavy metals. Sort of travels through your body, cleaning up. And this is the one of the crystals. This is the bigger one. This is the one that I love.
Ah, this is the T-shirt. Yep, the Clino crystal. Yep.
T-shirt crystal, but it's just so beautiful. So
wow.
You get different shapes and sizes. Like if I show you just zooming out of it, that was the big crystal, but you can see the different shaped crystals and then the much smaller ones.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different sizes going on.
Yeah, I love it because sorry. Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say quickly, I love it because it's needed different size crystals to clean up the different size of the toxins. So it needs not just one standard size. Everything's different size to sweep up different things, like different size things, bad things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think Clayton was explaining it, different sizes for the stomach. You know, some don't pass through into the bloodstream and the smaller ones pass through. Mm-hmm. So yeah, different crystal sizes do different jobs. And then we did see also, we're running out of time.
Yes, we are. Yeah. Should we stop it here and get to the next one? It won't.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So 1 second.